Welcome to the Fabulous Fifties and Beyond. I'm Jim Pollard, your co-host with my wife, Jeanetta. We're going to be talking about an upcoming event that's very important to you. Our guest today is Sergeant Tracy Guge from the Murray Police Department. You stay tuned and we'll be right back.
And he'd say, go with what you got. Start from where you are. Give it your best shot. Keep reaching for that star. Get in the race, keep your own pace, keep moving and never stop. Just go, go with what you got.
Welcome back. Our guest today is Sergeant Tracy Guge from the Murray Police Department. I keep wanting to say Metropolitan because I've got everybody tied in Nashville with my family down there, and that's where they work. But we're going to be talking about the Senior Scam Jam, which is an important thing in the life of seniors. Seniors seem to be prey for scams that are going on, don't they?
Yes, they do.
I mean, I guess most of us in our, not you, but in our age category, we're the seniors, we're trusting.
Yes, you're trusting, and also on some of the, like the home improvement type things, you're really not able to do some of the things that you used to be able to.
How well do I know that?
Well, and especially, I think there's so many more women who are, single as they get older than men. And women especially don't know. And if somebody comes in and tells you something, like you said, you just believe. I mean, I have a problem not believing people.
Right.
And it's just so bad that we have to not trust people.
And along with that it's sometimes we don't realize that it's not that we just don't know, it's sometimes they're very convincing.
Right.
And that's what they do for a living, is to try to convince you that you need this. And it's not just seniors that get taken a lot of times, it's a lot of people in the area.
I know when we lived in Florida for 23 years, and I never will forget that when a group of the roving gypsies moved in 2 doors down from us,
right,
that were the home improvement specialists, they were wild. Not only were, I guess they were fraudulent people in their business, but they were a wild bunch of people also.
Yes, they were.
Yeah, they can be, but they also, it's not only are they trying to take the money from you, sometimes when they get into the house with you, they'll distract you, and sometimes they'll go in and take some stuff from inside your home as well. So you need to be aware of that.
Explain how that happens. I know how it happens, but I think our audience needs to know this distraction game that they play a lot of times with cars, trouble, different things like that.
Right. A lot of times what will happen is they'll have one that's sitting there talking to you, telling you about these offers that they can do, the work that they can do. And then they'll say, well, while I'm discussing all this stuff with you, I'll have one of my guys go and take a look around, see what repairs you're going to need to do. And so while one is talking to you about what they do, the other one is walking
robbing
around
you
and taking things from your home.
And I've heard where sometimes one of the females will come up and say she's got car trouble and get you distracted so somebody else can go through the house and get your stuff too.
Right, that happens as well. That happens, and a lot of times too, sometimes it's not only that they may be taking things, they may also be damaging stuff, saying that, oh, well, this needs to be repaired also. Mm-hmm. So those are type of the things that we really need to keep an eye on.
So in the Senior Scam Jam, this is just one of the areas of things that's actually going to be talked about.
Right, the Scam Jam is going to be Wednesday, May 28th. It's going to run from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. and lunch is also covered. And the way that it's working is you have a choice of 3 different workshops. You'll be able to take 2 of the workshops. One is mail fraud, and that's put on by the U.S. Postal Service. Another one is home improvement fraud, which I'll be doing. And then the third one is predatory lending, which will be put on by the Office of Financial Institutions.
And then they're going to have 2 major gatherings, I guess is what you'd say, where everybody comes together for information sessions. They call them presentations,
yes.
I guess.
Well, during lunch, you will go through a presentation of investment fraud put on by the Office of Financial Institutions and the AARP, and then identity theft, the identity theft put on by the Office of the Attorney General. The predatory lending is one of the workshops, and And that's one that I think that everyone should also go to.
Talk about that a little bit, because I know that I've heard some terrible stories about since these defaults on loans. Our son lives in South Florida, and we talked to him a couple of weeks ago, and he said in the county where he lives, there's 1,700 defaults on loans a month down there right now.
People really need to do their homework before signing any contract for a loan or anything like that. They need to make sure that they read the fine print, because sometimes they may be paying more than what they thought they were going to be paying. And there'll be a lot of hidden costs as well. So they need to go to a reputable area, but also do their homework and make sure that it's done correctly.
Some people, they're actually really signing their home over to them and they don't know it.
Exactly.
You know, and this is a terrible thing. These people are already in dire straits, or they wouldn't be trying to, do something about their home. And then somebody comes along and gives them this rosy picture, and then they end up saying, no, they've lost their home.
Exactly, and it's always catchable if you look at the contract, have someone look at it as well, just to make sure that you didn't miss something, and make sure that it's not for more than what you can afford.
Well, I think one of the major problems, because you go in with a stack of papers like this, with a bunch of little yellow things with an arrow on it that says sign here, and all they're doing is flipping through and signing. And I would say that the average person wouldn't know what they were signing anyway without some type of legal help on it.
You're correct. I'm just as guilty. When you go to buy a car, they'll say sign here, sign here, sign here.
And you do it without reading.
You don't read it.
Yeah.
Take it home with you, read over it, and if there's anything that you are confused about, take that extra little bit of money that you can spend and have an attorney look at it, just to be on the safe side, to make sure that it's not got something hidden in there that you didn't realize that was there.
Well, it's something that, because as she was talking about, we were listening to one of the stories where one lady thought she was refinancing her house, and actually what she did was she signed a trust deed over to someone else who bought it, who rented it back to her, and got all the equity in her house.
Oh, exactly. There is some people out there that will prey on you and hope that you don't read the contracts, and hope that you don't take them to someone that will understand the wording in them.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to say it, but that's what the world is coming to, and we need to have the intelligence to look into it, do our homework. We tell our kids or grandkids, do your homework, learn from all of this, and we need to practice that ourselves.
And there's a lot of credit card fraud going on also.
Credit card fraud and identity theft. It's really getting worse with the identity theft. Never give out your personal information on an unsolicited phone call. If you didn't call someone to buy something, then don't give your credit card out or your personal information out, because that's how they're doing it. There's so many scams coming up saying that they're with your bank and that your account has crashed. We need to know your account so we can fix it. Don't trust those people. Your bank's not going to call you and ask for your own information. You need to call your bank and let them know that this is happening.
And they have all that information.
Right, they have that
I don't care if
information.
one computer crashes, they have it.
They have that
right.
information, they do.
And that's something that the general public needs to really understand, that your bank or your institution is not going to call you and ask you for your personal information, your social security number, your credit card numbers, or your codes or anything. They're not going to call and ask you for that information.
No, they're not. They're not going to call you, and they're not going to ask. If they do call you, they're not going to ask you all those things. They may call you and say, something is strange going on in your account. We need to check this. And if you can come by the office, or even if it is somebody from the bank calling, you can always say, let me call you back.
Right.
And they will not have a problem with that at all. If they do, then that's not your bank calling you.
And people also need to understand, I think, that it's not always the bank that creates a problem, or that it can be one of these big institutions. Because I know I'm on the internet a lot, and I got a notification from my bank that they thought my credit card might have been compromised. And it was from my bank, and they said, we are canceling your credit card immediately and we'll send you another one. And I knew it was from them because it happened. Our daughter got hers compromised from shopping at one of the local places when tens of thousands of credit cards were compromised because the information was leaked out or something.
That's correct. And they will contact you in that way. They're not going to contact you and say, well, we need your credit card information because it's been compromised. We need your Social Security to verify this. They're not going to ask you that information. So be sure that before you give that out, always tell them, let me call you back on the number that I have for you. And they will do that. If there's ever any question, you call your own bank.
And you know, as gas prices continue to rise, which they seem to be doing, things are going to get worse.
Yes, there is a scam out now where, and we publicized it in Murray, there's a scam out now where people are calling you saying that we'll give you $200 for gas or $200 worth of free groceries, but you have to pay for the shipping with your credit card.
Oh.
And people are falling for this. They are giving their credit card information to pay for the shipping of this free supposed gas money and free grocery money, and then they never get it, and their credit card has been skyrocketed to the limit.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot going on, and like she said, it's going to get worse.
It will be.
As the economy gets worse and the gas keeps going up and different things happen, we're going to see more scams and more things that take place, and that's all the more reason why people ought to participate in this. And the interesting thing, the conference is free.
Yes, it is free, but you must register.
Okay.
You have to register by calling, I'm make sure I have the number right, 1-877-926-8300.
So that is the only requirement, is that they do register.
That's the only requirement.
And lunch will be provided.
Yes, it will be. And it will be on the Kerr Center, at the Kerr Center on Murray State University campus.
And it's, again, the date is?
May 28th.
May 28th.
It's on a Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay. And I'm sure there'll be people to direct them to the Kerr Center if they don't know where it is.
Yes, the Kerr Center is on Chestnut Street, so if you have any questions on that, we can try to get you the directions if you need it.
Okay. Well, you know, there's just so much that's going on. As I said, we've done shows before on the different scams and the different things, and we need to be aware. And I hope that the postal authorities, and I know that's not your field, so I'm not going to push you there, but some of the things that I know that are going on out there is mail fraud is big.
It is.
You know,
these letters being sent out, offering free sweepstakes. There's just so many different ones out there. And there's also people out there, you know, sending out letters saying that they're with a particular company, asking for donations. If you ever have any questions about that, contact your local police department, because we will find out if it is a scam or if it's actually true or not for you.
she has taken, we donate to some of the Christian organizations, and she has come to the point that we won't give unless it has a seal of an organization that we know that has approved their financial operations.
True, and also see if there's a number that you can contact them on. Always do your homework. If you need to, call and make sure. I know that sometimes, like the Fraternal Order of Police calls and asks for donations as well. And sometimes people will try to act like they're with that agency and try to get money over the telephone or whatever. Call them. Say, well, I need a phone number. If they don't give you the phone number, you contact your local police department. And even if they do give you a phone number and you just are really concerned about it, or if there's any question, contact the police department and they can tell you.
Well, we do business on the internet, and one of the first things that I learned, I tried to pick up on that. So if you do business on the internet, you need to put your telephone number on it. You need to put your address where people know that you're legitimate, because so many of the businesses and things that are on the internet do not have that.
Right.
And the bulk of our business is a Santa business. Now that telephone can get to be a problem sometimes around Christmas. We've gotten calls at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, kids wanting to talk to Santa Claus. But it needs to be there, and we realize that. We've now tried to locate it where an adult can find it easily, but children can't that
Right.
easy. But if we feel like if it's a reputable organization, they're going to have contact information there.
Yes, they will have contact information. That's what they do. They want to make sure that you realize that they are reputable.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that aren't, they don't want you to have the information.
No, because they don't want you to be able to track them down.
Exactly.
And this is one of the things that's happening today is with a lot of the foreign. And I know I hear people on TV and they say, well, why can't they catch them? Well, because so many of them are operating out of Africa.
And you'd be surprised at how many people don't actually report it either. They just put it up as, well, I messed up, so.
Well, and sometimes they're kind of ashamed that they were, conned into doing something.
Right. They
but-
are afraid to report
But
it.
everybody, we all make mistakes. I got a call. I was looking to do some work on the internet, and there are legitimate businesses that you can do business with, but they called me, and it was my understanding it wouldn't cost anything to get in, get involved. Well, at the end, it was like you can get it for $300 or $900 or $1,200. I said, well, I'm not looking to invest any money. Well, you have a good day and good luck. And they hung up.
Right. But the thing of it is, too, a lot of these people that are trying to con you out of the money will try to keep you on that phone. And they will try to pressure you into either signing or committing to something.
Yeah.
Have ways of figuring out how to get off that phone or how to get them out of your home or how to be able to shut the door. Have a plan ready.
Well, a senior citizen should always have I would say all their doors locked, wouldn't you? Even in the daytime? Because if they came in the front door and you had your back door unlocked, somebody else could come in the back door while you're talking.
We
somebody in
tell
the front.
people to always keep their doors and windows locked, but you'd be surprised. In Murray, a lot of them will think, well, it's a small town, Murray. Nothing ever happens in Murray. It does. And we tell everyone to keep their cars locked, keep their doors locked, their windows locked. And if there's ever a question of who is at the door, ask for identification.
I know when we lived in South Florida, I'd come up here and visit my parents, and I'd drive my dad's car. I always took the keys out of it. Why do you take the keys out of the car? Because in South Florida, if you leave your keys in the car, you probably won't have a car when you come back.
Right. And
It's just different.
Right. When I was growing up, that's the way it was. It was you left your cars open with the keys
Right.
in it. You left your doors
House
open.
open.
And you let the kids stay out. And I remember my parents used to say, come in when the street lights come on. Well, the world is changing, and we need to change our own habits. And we hate change. Everyone hates change. But we need to learn to change to be able to make it safe for ourselves.
Well, people need to realize that the world is changing within itself. And we were in business in South Florida, and I know that one of the areas that we were working one time, we tell people, you always lock the doors, you keep your windows up and lock your doors in your car wherever you're traveling. Because we would literally watch a 5-man operation, or a 5-kid operation is what it was. And literally somebody would see a car coming, primarily with older people, or if they could spot a purse close to a light. One would walk out in front of the car and stop it, and then 4 would advance on each side and open the doors and grab the purses and run.
Well, speaking of purses, I love ladies. I don't personally carry a purse because I can't keep up with it. But I don't know how many times I'll go into like Walmart and these ladies are shopping.
Have it sitting in the
Have
basket.
it sitting in the buggy, and then they turn their back from the buggy to do their shopping. It would not take 2 seconds for somebody to walk by and grab that purse.
That's right, and be gone.
And be gone. So I always tell the ladies, keep that purse on your shoulder. If it's too heavy, either get rid of something or just take your money and put it in your pocket and lock your purse up in your home or in the trunk of your car.
Well, another thing that's really kind of big too is when you go to the service station, you get out and you pump your gas and your purse is sitting in the front seat and that other door is open.
Yeah.
That's a opportunity and they do that. They go
Yes.
and look for
Yes, they
people
look
who have
for-
left their doors unlocked on the passenger side and take their purse, and like you say, they're gone.
And a lot of times ladies will just grab their money, leave their purse in the car,
And go in and pay.
Go in and pay, and the keys are in the car, the purse is in the car. Sometimes the kids are in the car as well. And we need to, again, realize that the world is changing and we can't necessarily do that anymore.
And it's so sad. And it's sad to me that you have to teach your kids not to trust people. But you do.
Right, right. You have to.
You do have to tell them.
You don't have to teach them to not trust anyone, but to be savvy when it comes to their own personal safety.
But kids are so trusting. We had a good friend of ours in Florida. She had a little girl, and she told her, don't ever let anybody in unless you know them. You know, don't open the door for somebody. Well, somebody came to the door, and Mandy says, do you know me? And the person said yes, and she let them in. Well, you know, it happened. But, you know, that's
Right.
just the way kids are. And
And to be honest with you, the predators will go after either the seniors or the children, thinking that they're more trusting. And it's true that they may be more trusting, but also, too, they're not as experienced in the cons that they're playing or the traps that they're trying to set. And they're not looking for them.
yeah, it's sad, but it's, like you said, it's a different world that we live in today.
Yeah, it is.
I try to tell people, you know, that because in a lot of the years of doing Santa, that some kids, they don't want to get in my lap and have their picture made, and I tell them, and parents just, some of them tend to get upset over it. And I say, you got to understand that all your rest of the year you're telling them don't have anything to do with strangers, and so you bring them into a strange place with a strange guy with a strange red suit on and a white beard and a white hat, and you plop them down in his chair and expect them to accept it. I said, that don't always work. You know, it doesn't work out together. And so this is one of the things I try to tell them. But kids are so trusting, you know, and the predators know that.
Right, they do. They know that.
And
And the thing of it is, it's so cute too. It's like when grandkids come over. It's kind of funny because you have two trusting people, and the predators, like these scam artists, will take advantage of it. They'll even point out, oh, those, if they see pictures of the grandkids, oh, I like those pictures. Those are so beautiful. Tell me about them. And as grandparents, you're proud of your children, so you're going to be talking about it while their other cohort is walking around your house taking things.
and it's true. Well, I think we need to tell them again. It's the 28th, right?
May 28th.
Right.
Curris Center at the Murray State University campus from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's free, but you must register at 1-877-926-8300.
And I noticed that there's going to be door prizes.
Yes, we will end the program with door prize giveaways.
Okay, and a morning snack. I guess that's for the 9 to 9:30 for the morning snack.
Right.
And then there'll be lunch provided also. You know, it's a pretty good day.
Yes, it's a good day to go out and be educated on these things that we've been talking about, all these scams, and also get a free lunch, possibly some door prizes, and walk away with a better knowledge that you can maybe pass on to your friends as well.
Who is putting together the door prizes? Is it the?
You know, I'm really not sure who is putting together the door prizes, but I do know that this whole program was made possible through a grant through the AARP Foundation and the Investors Protection Trust.
Oh, okay. AARP does a lot of that in the different conferences and different things. I've been in several where they've had real good presenters and different things that they've brought in and done it. Well, I think that in the day and age in which we live and in the times that we're living today, that I don't really see them getting better anytime soon. I mean, I hate to be a prophet of doom, but these gas prices are killing us.
The gas prices are, and
it causes everything else. That's the problem.
It causes everything else to go up. The gas prices are going up, and a lot of people don't want to make their running around any.
Right, more than necessary. Yeah. Right.
And I think that may even add to the susceptibility of more stealing and fraud, because they're in such a hurry they don't pay the attention to the safety factors that they need to. You know, like you say, run in, pay the gas, run in, do this, hurry up and buy, and they're not watching what they've got, which would make them more wide open.
Right, and it'll also, I know more seniors will probably be staying home, and I'm just as guilty. I don't go and visit my grandparents as often as I should, and they get lonely. And so when this predator comes up, they're convincing by making them feel like they're
important.
special,
Oh, yeah.
they're important.
Yeah.
And we as family members should do that ourselves, but sometimes we get caught up in our own busy little worlds.
Right. It's hard to spread yourself around.
Well, Tracy, we appreciate you being with us today. Believe it or not, we're running fastly out of time here, and I hope that our audience realizes how important this conference is. It's Senior Scam Jam, and it's going to be in Murray, Kentucky at the college there at the Kerr Center, and it's going to be on May the 28th. It's the only requirement that you have to get there is to register.
That's correct.
And that number is 1-877-926-8300. So you need to register, and that's the only requirement to go in and participate in that. And I think it's really important that you do that because there is so much that's going on out there today. You need to be made aware, and I believe that from this conference, they will make us aware of some of the things that are going on, because I know there are things that I don't know about that I need to know about that's going on out there. And I try to be pretty aware, but every day it seems like every week we hear something new.
Yeah, they'll make you more aware. You'll learn some awareness, but you'll also learn some precautionary techniques. And also, if you think that this person is scamming you or trying to be a con artist, it teaches you steps on what you need to do.
Right.
To protect yourself, or if you've become a victim, who you need to contact.
Okay, so that'll be there too, which will be interesting also, because that's one of the things. And again, the audience needs to know that if you've been scammed, you need to report it.
Yeah. And
don't be ashamed. I mean, okay, be ashamed, but still report it.
Right. You can be ashamed, but be in mind that you weren't the only one that was scammed by this.
Well, and they might help somebody else avoid it.
That is correct.
By calling it.
Well, Tracy, go ahead.
Go ahead. I said just by calling it.
I was going to say we appreciate you being here today. We are out of time, and we want to invite our audience to be back next week, and we'll be talking about something else that affects your daily lives and something that's important to you. So you come back and be with us next year, and we look forward next week, and we look forward to seeing you again. Remember now, use it or lose it.
Can't see as well as I used to. Can't run as far or